Welcome into the Gridiron Grind. It's Creta 3 and Jimmy G. Back for another week, week 9, episode 9 of the season. What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, Trey?
Nothing. A lot to talk about this week. How about them Cowboys? Looking great. We'll get into them
Love
just
it.
a second when we get to the NFL. Let's start with college. Huge slate of games last week. You had some teams go down. Miami, Texas Tech, both go down to unranked teams. So a little shakeup in the rankings this week. Vanderbilt, huge win over LSU.
Yeah.
Georgia, huge win over Ole Miss. Alabama over Tennessee. Notre Dame takes down USC. And the upset of the day, maybe BYU over Utah. They're
Holy war. How about that?
Holy War. Utah looked like the better team. BYU's for real. Excuse me. BYU looked like the better team compared to Utah. BYU is looking like they are for real in the Big 12.
Yeah, I agree. Big matchup for them this week as well against Iowa State.
Iowa
But
State
yeah, Holy
favored.
war. I mean, Utah coming in, you had Utah, Arizona State. You had some teams that a lot of people thought were going to be towards the top of the Big 12, and they're not. So,
Yeah,
you know, a lot of parity in college football as a whole, but a lot in the Big 12 this year.
absolutely. Yeah, Iowa State favored at home against BYU. Something to that caught my eye for sure. Huge matchup in a couple weeks in November, BYU and Texas Tech.
Yeah,
Probably for a spot. Tech, I got some relatives, wife's family, Texas Tech Red Raiders. And I was like, listen, that loss sucks, but it doesn't really hurt you. If you take
right.
care of business the rest of the way, it just now you don't have any room for error. Can't lose
Mhm.
anymore. You got to get in the conference championship and got to win it. And so Tech can still do that. Big one in a couple weeks, taking on BYU. This week, we have three ranked versus ranked matchups. All three of them are in the SEC. And it is all of them are huge, important for most of the teams. We'll start off in the morning. It's number 8 Ole Miss goes to Norman at number 13 Oklahoma. Oklahoma, surprising to me, favored by 5, hosting Ole Miss. But the Sooners responded very well last week after they got beat up by the Longhorns. They went to South Carolina and they took care of business and they dominated. Offense of line actually was able to run the ball. Oklahoma, Ole Miss, what are you thinking in that game?
Well, like you said, Ole Miss coming off the Georgia loss. OU responds well after the Texas loss. Um, Lane Kiffin's going to be mad. Lane Kiffin's going to have something to come out and prove. Kind of knock on him. He's almost like the James Franklin of the South, really. Kind of can't get over the hump, can't win the big one, and this and that. So this is going to be a big game in Norman, like you said. So I got to bet on this as we get
Okay.
to our picks. So yeah, I this one is going to be one I'm going to be glued to. And then I think this is a must win for Ole Miss.
I think so, and I think it's a must win for Oklahoma. Oklahoma still has LSU on the schedule. They still have Alabama on the schedule. They still have Tennessee on the schedule.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, after having one loss, Ole Miss now with one loss. I think it's a must win for both. Both teams really need this game. I ended up staying away from this game. Kind of gonna see, but if I really like Ole Miss, I'll probably end up taking it later in the week. But my lean right now is Ole Miss on the road. I think it's gonna be a close game. Five's a little too much. Number 15, Missouri at number 10, Vanderbilt.
Cool.
First things first, I want to address this. If I had a Heisman vote at this point in the season, my vote would be Diego Pavia, quarterback at Vanderbilt. I think he right now is the best player in the country at a position that would have a chance to win the Heisman. Uh, I mean, he means so much to his team more than any other player in the country. If you took Diego Pavia off that Vanderbilt team, what would they be? Not the number 10
Maybe
ranked team in the
Vanderbilt.
country. Yeah, I
They
mean,
would
they'd be
they
the
would be
old
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I love watching that kid play. I watched that whole entire LSU Vanderbilt game. He has impressed me so much. The dude is gritty. I love his style of play at the quarterback. So he is the perfect fit for Vanderbilt to get Vanderbilt into the top 10. The Vanderbilt Commodores are top 10. They're doing it again. They're
Tough one.
hosting Missouri. Missouri, I think, is a little underrated. Their only loss was Alabama. They did squeak one by in overtime, double overtime against Auburn. I think Missouri's a good club. A lot of the analytics people that I follow, they think Missouri should be the favorite. But Vanderbilt, back-to-back weeks, they're favored again at home. What do you think? Vanderbilt, Missouri.
I think Nashville's becoming a tough place to play. We'll see after Pavia leaves. Excuse me. You get a guy like Diego Pavia out of school, like Cam Scatterbood, Sacramento State, and then Arizona State. All of a sudden, these teams kind of come out of nowhere and they're really tough to beat. And Vanderbilt's no exception here with Pavia. Alabama found that out last year. LSU finds it out. LSU and a lot of other people, five other people, found it out this year. And Nashville, man, they're Nash Vegas. They're rallying around the Commodores football team, not just baseball
Yeah,
anymore for them to get excited about there. And yeah, I like the guy. The guy's a player. The
yeah,
guy's a football player.
yeah.
He just goes out there. He just competes. He doesn't quit. And Vanderbilt hadn't, golly, what, Jay Cutler, maybe Jordan Rogers. I guess
Yeah, those two.
Jordan Rogers, Zach Stacy team was pretty good. So, but that's been how long ago? Golly, he's been a bachelor or
Decade.
whatever the show is,
Yeah.
dating. Yeah, he's been on dating shows since then. So, yeah, a lot to be excited about in Nashville.
End up staying away from this game. I love, like I said, I love Vanderbilt, love Diego Pavia, but it worries me. All the analytics people are on Missouri. And this game isn't played with computers, but I think they have a place. And sometimes when all of them are saying Missouri, that makes me worry. But Vegas has Vanderbilt favored for a reason. I lean Vanderbilt in that one. Night game. It's a big one. Number 3, Texas A&M goes on the road at number 20, LSU. LSU dropped their second game of the season. Uh, they previously lost to Ole Miss. Then they lose to Vanderbilt last week. LSU is getting 2.5. Texas A&M favored by 2.5. It's in LSU, by the way. A&M offense has been great. They played a close one on the road. Weird schedule for A&M. They have 3 road games in a row. I don't know how they drew that straw. They go at Arkansas last week, squeak by 3. At LSU, then a bye, and then at Missouri. That's a tough LSU, Missouri, 2 ranked teams. A&M again undefeated, so a loss doesn't kill them here. But A&M still got a couple, like we said, at Missouri, and then of course they're going to end with Texas. So A&M would love to get this win. How desperate is LSU? I hear the quarterback Nussmeier is banged up, so that could play a factor. Brian Kelly rumblings about the little unsure about his job security. So is this a desperation? Is this LSU more desperate than A&M situation? Night game at home.
LSU's desperate, yes, to answer your question, more desperate than A&M. And Brian Kelly, especially, uh, you've got to not get blown out by A&M. You cannot allow A&M to come to Death Valley at night where LSU is notorious. Like, I mean, just they play so well. They're notorious. You go into Death Valley at night, you're coming away with a loss. If Brian Kelly gets embarrassed, I don't know if it's his last game as the LSU Tigers head coach, but this is probably his last season.
Yeah.
Um, definite must win for Brian Kelly. Like you said, Mike Elko and team, as long as they don't fake any more injuries, they should.
Big fine.
Yeah, yeah. Next one, he's out, and that's 100
Yeah.
grand, starting at 50 right now. I'm not saying that's why we lost. I'm just saying that's why we lost.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Brian Kelly has got to win this game or at least keep it close.
Well, I think
You
he's
lose
got
a
to.
close game, you get a little more leeway. You go get blown out at home at night, and that's going to be tough for everyone. And I
No,
still don't know if it'll be enough to save his job.
I think he has to win this game. I think LSU Brian Kelly has to win this game because you look at their schedule, they got Alabama next, and then they still got Oklahoma. LSU has to win this game. If you want to make sure you keep your job and you want to stay in a playoff hunt. I mean, 10-2 teams last year made the playoff. If you're LSU, you got to have this game. A&M really wants this game. And A&M is probably the better team. How much LSU got left in the tank? I worry about Nussmeier's injury. Also, for A&M, you watch that game for LSU against Vanderbilt. and Diego Pavia, some of the plays he was able to make. Uh, can Marcel Reed make some of those plays? Yeah, I think he can. And if he's able to scramble and move around and create plays outside the pocket, even though not necessarily running, but Pavia can scramble, move around back there, and then find an open guy. I think Marcel Reed can also do that for Texas A&M. And if he's able to do that, I mean, they can put up a lot of points, even though LSU's got a really good defense, but Vanderbilt put up a lot of points on them. I can see A&M maybe having some of the same success. But like we talked about, it's the desperation factor that a computer can't factor. How desperate is LSU? If they're as desperate as they should be, I think you got to take LSU in the points. I'm staying away because I think A&M is the better football team.
I do too. I think A&M is the better football team, and I think this game, golly, like you said, it's a must win for Brian Kelly, or at least a must lose last minute if you want to go that route. But either way, he has got LSU's got to show up. They got to show something. Otherwise, you can add LSU to the list of job openings here at the end of the
Yeah.
season.
A lot of job openings. Could be a wild coaching carousel in a month or two.
And I would argue that LSU, if it happened, all the ones that we know are open right now, we'll just speculate if LSU. I would argue LSU is probably the number one job opening. I'd put it above Penn State, personally, just because I feel like you could build a wall around the state of
Probably.
Louisiana with LSU. With Penn State, you're still little brother to
And I
Ohio
think the
State
Florida
and
job,
Michigan.
if I was a coach, hold the Florida job in very high regard with the one, they got great academics, two, the fan base support, three, the money. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are an institution that likes to win. They've had the most success winning national championships in the three big men's sports: football, men's basketball, and baseball. They're the
Mm-hmm.
only university I think that's won a national championship in all three major men's sports in the last 20 years. Um,
Yeah, definitely an impressive program down there. I just would not want to have to recruit against Miami and Florida State.
well,
And
but
now,
Florida State's down right now because their job's
yeah,
open. Miami,
right.
are they back? I mean, they just lost at home.
Yeah,
I mean,
to
that's true.
Louisville.
Recruiting's
Yeah.
tough, but there's also you can go within 100 miles and field a national championship caliber team within
Mm-hmm.
100 miles of your campus. I
Very
mean,
true.
so I like that job. Like I said, LSU, Florida, Penn State, they're all huge jobs. We'll see what more come open. Okay, switching over to the NFL. Dallas Cowboys looked great, dominate the Commanders. Dak Prescott's having a heck of a season, having an MVP caliber season, only if the team was doing a little bit better. But Cowboys do get, what are they, 3-1 now?
Yep.
They're sole possession of second place in the NFC East, behind the Eagles. They jumped the Commanders. They're going to go on the road to the Broncos. Broncos favored by 3.5. I can't tell you the last time we've won in Denver. We've lost our last four games that we've played there. And the fifth game was over 20 years ago in
Yeah,
Denver.
I'm with you.
Denver's been a place we do not play well. Um, so if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you got to love your offense right now. Schottenheimer's done a heck of a job. Dak Prescott's looking great. You get CeeDee Lamb back. The offensive
Mhm.
line looks great. Running game looks great. Receivers, tight end. That offense is best offense in the NFL. The defense, they talked about making minor adjustments. I think they did, and they did look better against the Commanders. But that was at home. Now we go on the road. The question, though, if you're the Cowboys with this offense, you've got to make a move to make the defense better now. We can't waste this Dak Prescott season in this offense. Reports were they reached out to the Raiders about trading for Max Crosby. Raiders said no, that we're not going to do what y'all did with Mike Parsons. I mean, what do you think? Do the Cowboys? What move, if you're Jerry Jones, are you trying to make this defense better now to make us a playoff contender?
I would go either pass rusher, or I don't know if you can get a shutdown corner. I don't know. Um, but I would definitely try to get someone to rush the passer. Because if you can rush the passer, your front seven, in my belief, makes the back four that much better. You're the NFL. Elam, even as poorly as he's played, he can pick off a terribly thrown pass. That pass that Mariota threw,
Yeah.
anyone in our secondary could have picked that off. Don't know if they could have taken it to the house, but they could have at least got the interception. So front seven, I would try to bolster that. Uh, Max Crosby, it's easy for the Raiders to go, Max, we're not going to trade you. Don't worry, we're not shopping you. Everyone is for sale in the NFL. If you don't believe that, you're blind.
Yeah.
Everyone is for sale. The Micah Parsons trade should have told you that no one in the NFL is safe. So, if Jerry and Steven put something together, because it's not like the Raiders have anything to play for. If they put something together, the Raiders would send Max Crosby our way in a heartbeat, and Davis would just be like, "Well, uh,
But
who? What's your name? I'm sorry, your key card doesn't work anymore."
the
Wouldn't
problem
even
with
matter.
that is like Jerry, you might have to give up more for Max Crosby than it would
Mhm.
have costed you just to pay Micah Parsons. And I don't think that's a line he's willing to cross because it makes him look stupid. And I think
Mhm.
Jerry he's got the ego, he's got the pride. He wants to be like, I told y'all we'd work this out. I don't know. I'd love to have Max Crosby. I'd love to have Micah Parsons right now. Um, because this defense needs something. I
Yep.
would figure out the best pass rusher that we could get that costs less than you would have paid Micah Parsons using that extra first rounder we got from the Packers. Um, or I'd go find the best defensive end pass rusher I could make a deal for. But then you know what also? Sauce Gardner with the Jets. The Jets are terrible. They're winless.
Yeah.
He just got a concussion, but hopefully that's a 1 week thing. The Jets got to be open to looking. We got to roster overhaul this place. They have like two real assets. Garrett
Mhm.
Wilson, which we don't need and can't afford, and Sauce Gardner, which we could probably make a deal for Sauce Gardner. I'd go get him in a heartbeat. There's your shutdown corner, and then find the best pass rusher available. I'd be making moves if I'm the Cowboys. Can't waste this offense. Can't waste this season because our defense stinks.
Correct. Dak Prescott, 1,881 yards, second in the NFL, 16 touchdowns, second in the NFL, only three interceptions. His QBR is first in
Yeah,
the NFL,
it's unreal.
81.2. The only letter QBR, TDs, INTs. We got no D. We got no defense. So again, we remind me of old school Big 12 football, old school Texas Tech. Whoever punts or kicks a field goal is going to lose. That's
Yep.
pretty much what it's coming down. We score 40, we either give up 41 or we give up 39. So let's go get somebody to get after the quarterback. Of course, that's if you believe you're that far away. Like you said, what we're seeing out of Dak, I think if we had some defense, I think we're right there. If you believe that, go get them. Go get whoever. Old school Jerry needs to come out where you go, we're going to write the check and we'll worry about it on the back end. Uh, get rid of Mozzie. I know he's such a commodity for us, but I'd trade him.
Yep.
Maybe look at one of the backup tight ends. Diggs. The rumor about this fall at the house
Yeah, what do you
being
got?
fake. Okay, ship him. Take him out.
I
Go
get rid of
see.
him. I get rid of Trayvon Diggs now.
Yeah, before he becomes a giant headache. Um, yeah, if that's true,
Well,
if
he's been
there's really
terrible this year
nothing
anyway. Get rid of him.
yeah, get rid of him. Maybe trade him for Sauce straight up. I don't know. Jets would do that, but excuse me, maybe.
Throw in
But yeah,
something out. I mean, if you got to throw in a fourth rounder, do it.
yeah. We just throw those away anyway. I mean, we just give those away to any team that wants them. So might as well. Let's throw Diggs and a fourth rounder out there for Max Crosby, and they can have Mozzie and whoever else. But yeah, I think if you believe you can really make a run, you've got to make some moves. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
We'll see what they do. Cowboys at the Broncos this week. It's going to be a tough one. Broncos favored by 3.5. All right, last segment of the show. It's our picks. Last week, I was 4-3-1, had one push. Winning week for me. I'm right
What
around
was your
500.
push?
The push was UCLA. I had UCLA -3, and they kicked the last minute field goal to win. Uh, they were hosting Maryland, so I thought UCLA would be a little bit better. But anyway, got the push. So 4-3-1.
All
Jimmy,
right.
another rough week for old Jimbo. Three and
Yeah,
seven.
three.
3-7.
I got a one at the end of my record too, man. So don't worry. Just like the Cowboys. Now we know what it feels like. I have to look at that stupid
Oh, that's
one
true. We
on.
got to look at that all year. So,
Yeah.
all right. Picks for this week. I got 8. I think you said you got 10.
I got 10. I got 6 in college, 4 in the NFL.
All right. I got 5 college, 3 NFL. I'll start. South Florida hosting Memphis. Memphis lost to UAB. Like, that's a bad loss. After Memphis looked so good against Arkansas
Mhm.
and some other teams. South Florida, don't forget. I mean, they're the front runner right now for the group of 5 spot in the playoff, and they look good. Their only loss was at Miami. They have wins over Florida, have wins over Boise State. And Boise State has been their only losses were to South Florida and Notre Dame. Boise State's looking pretty good. So that South Florida win over Boise State's huge. Also, Memphis quarterback is out. He's injured, not going to play. South
Mm.
Florida, I think, is a better team. And backup quarterback, true freshman starting for Memphis. Give me the South Florida Bulls -5. I don't think five's enough. I think South Florida is going to put it on Memphis. So give me South Florida -5.
Shout out to the UAB Blazers. Alex Mortensen,
Yeah.
former Razorback backup quarterback and
Yep.
son of the late Chris Mortensen, gets his first win as a head coach. Shout out to him. I'm gonna go with Friday night. UNT Charlotte over 59.5. UNT Charlotte's not good. UNT is going to win the game. Question is by how much. And I think UNT's got a real shot to get into the 50s or 60s and cover this themselves. So give me over 59.5 on Friday night, UNT and Charlotte.
Speaking of local team, North Texas, they some thought they might be on upset alert against UTSA after North Texas had
Mhm.
that loss. Who they play 2 weeks ago to South Florida.
South
No,
Florida.
no drop off for the Mean Green. They put it on the Roadrunners of UTSA last week. So, all right, Jimmy's got North Texas Charlotte over 59.5 on Friday. My second pick, Arkansas Razorbacks -1 over Auburn. It opened up as Auburn being a slight favorite. People have jumped on this and it switched it. I still like Arkansas -1. I think the Razorbacks win this game. Arkansas is playing better now that Petrino's taken over. Back-to-back 3-point losses against Tennessee and against A&M. I think a little bit of frustration for the Razorbacks. Take it out on Auburn. I think they get over the hump and win the game. They're in a free fall down. They're going the wrong direction. They blame everybody but themselves. They'll have an excuse of why they lost this game about the refs. You just wait and see. I think
Mhm.
Arkansas is just more locked in and more focused on a Bobby P right now. Give me the Razorbacks -1 over Auburn.
Trey, what if I told you that my Razorbacks are top 5 in the nation in offense and number 1 in the SEC?
They're the
How
number one
wild is that?
offense in the SEC.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
I didn't know that.
How about that?
I
Yeah.
believe it. I mean,
Top
they put
5 in
up
the
some
nation.
points.
Top 5 in the nation, number 1 in the SEC. Isn't that wild?
Well,
I'm gonna go.
Auburn's not going to stop them.
Yeah, not Auburn. They got Hugh Freeze. This might be the game that ends Hugh Freeze's tenure at Auburn. He's got 5-star wide receivers, can't do nothing with it. And I'm going with the same pick, Arkansas -1 for the exact same reasons. I think we're going to be the better team. We always play Auburn pretty close when they're good. This Auburn team's bad, and offense is firing under Petrino. So give me Arkansas -1 as well.
All right, staying in the SEC. Alabama goes on the road to South Carolina. I think something's going on with South Carolina. They stink. I think where it is, the North Sellers is a little banged up. South Carolina is struggling with injuries. I think Shane Beamer is something's going on with him. I don't think he's as focused. Doesn't have the team where it needs to be. I think South Carolina is ready to throw the towel in on the season. I could see them getting blown out at home, and I'm going to predict it. I'm going to pick it. Alabama, best team in the SEC, -12 over South Carolina, even though it's in South Carolina.
Yeah, and you talk about throwing in the towel. A guy like Lenore Sellers, if he is banged up, he's going to be going, man, I'm also trying to play on Sundays, not just Saturday, and
Yep.
take a little off. Again, if you don't believe kids do that, you're
They
just kind of
100% do that. In
and
the
the
NIL
sand.
era, 100%.
Yeah, they did it before. Clowney
Yeah,
setting
Clowney.
out, Miles Garrett coming out. You
Michael
take
Parsons set out his last year at Penn State. People
yeah,
forget about that.
exactly. So yeah, I agree. I think that's a great pick. Again, staying in the SEC, Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Give me Ole Miss +5.
Love it.
This is going to be this is a must win for Lane Kiffin. I think Lane Kiffin's going to. Uh, I think Ole Miss may roll Oklahoma in Norman.
Could see it.
So give me Ole Miss +5.
Definitely could see it. I got another SEC game.
Uh-oh.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs are hosting the Texas Longhorns. This
Uh-oh.
game opened up. Texas is favored by 6.5. Now it's up to 7.5. I don't know who the heck is betting money on the Texas Longhorns to beat anybody right now by a touchdown. Have you seen this offense? It is atrocious. We said 2 weeks ago, I said this might be the worst offensive line in Power Four, and I stand by that. They got up for the OU game. Steve Sarkisian does a heck of a job getting his team ready to play OU. He's done it all 5 years he's been here. That Texas team has performed, played one of their best games of the year every year against Oklahoma. He gets them ready to play. But every other game this year, this offense has been putrid. It was putrid again last week against Kentucky. I gave out Kentucky. It was a winner. Texas offense stinks. The offensive line's bad. Arch, and the problem like last week, the offensive line was bad. But then when a few times they were good and Arch had open receivers, he missed them. So I think I wouldn't pick Texas to beat anybody by a touchdown right now, let alone on the road against Mississippi State, who's looking for their first conference win. And if Texas hangs around again like they did against Kentucky, Mississippi State might get it. So give me the Mississippi State Bulldogs +7.5 at home against Texas.
Yeah, man. All right. You hit it last week. I like it. Go back to the well. SMU Wake Forest, SMU -3. I think SMU is the better team, even though it is in Wake Forest. SMU is going to cover this, and the ponies are going to ride. Big win over Clemson last
Yeah.
week. Another job. Everybody, it's one of those crazy to think. I think it's crazy to think they fired James Franklin. Uh, if James Franklin can get fired, Dabo Sweeney, who refuses to use the portal, can get fired. SMU big win, and I think they keep it rolling. SMU -3 over Wake Forest.
All right. Rivalry game. Michigan State's hosting Michigan. Right now, the
Oh,
line is still 14.5. It's +14.5. Michigan's up and down. It's on the road. It's a rivalry game. Michigan State gets up for this game. They're
mhm.
at home, and I love it because it's 14.5. So it's 14 in the hook. That's 2 touchdowns. Michigan wins this game by 2 touchdowns. We still make money. Go ahead and go get this game before they bet it down to 14. Give me Michigan State +14.5 hosting Michigan.
I'm going to go to the Big 12 for my last two picks. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, over 56. Tech bouncing back from that Arizona State loss. I think they're going to be on a mission. Oklahoma State, I think they're suiting up kids from Stillwater High at this point, and
It's bad. It's bad in
56 will
Stillwater.
not be enough. 56 is too low. Tech may do that on their own. If Oklahoma State gets anything, that's just a bonus. Give me over 56. Tech and OSU. And for my last one, BYU Iowa State. Give me BYU money line at +125. Iowa State, it's in Iowa State. Iowa State's favored. Iowa State's a good football team, not as good as BYU. BYU, yes, it's the Holy War, rivalry game. You throw it all out. BYU is a good football team. Okay. These are grown men with families they need to support.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is Iowa State's in the way of that. BYU money line +125.
Hey, back to Oklahoma State. Who takes that job? I mean, they are the worst team in the Big 12, going to be the second year in a row. Where do you go? Boone Pickens, your biggest alumni, he's passed away. The family's just not giving money like they were when he was alive. What do you do if you're Oklahoma State? Who takes that job and who can turn it back around?
Man,
I mean, you need
you
to
got to go
find.
some.
Well, sorry, I'll let you finish.
I was gonna say you got to go somewhere. You got to get like a Jeff Traylor. not Jeff
Yes,
Traylor. Jeff Traylor's not going to leave UTSA. He might
he might.
for enough money, but I think somebody like a Jeff Traylor uh, will go and take it. You got to have a guy like him to turn that program around. Somebody who's kind of young, like Gundy was, be able to kind of relate. You can't go get somebody old,
No,
long in the
no.
tooth to try to coach these guys. It's just not going to work. But I think you could go get, heck, you could get UNT's coach. You could get Jeff Traylor. You could get guys like that to go to Stillwater and I think be some real buzz. Another interesting, the Express personnel guy, the staffing agency. Uh, he's an Oklahoma State guy. Now that Boone, I say now, Boone Pickens passed away several years ago, right? Now the Express personnel family is the biggest donor of my numbers and my sources are correct at Oklahoma State. So I'm
Yeah.
going, okay, well, there's another one I didn't know they had. So
Yeah.
maybe they could pony up some money. But
They're
yeah, a guy like Jeff Traylor.
you need to get like someone like Jeff Traylor. If he takes it, I don't know if he wants it or not. Eric Morris at North Texas would be a great hire. You need to get someone. That's what I was thinking of. Like Matt Campbell at Iowa State. I mean, he's not going to take that job now, but when Iowa State hired Matt Campbell,
Mm-hmm.
someone like that would be perfect at Oklahoma State. Kirk Cignetti, obviously, he ain't leaving Indiana for Oklahoma State, but he was successful at Division II, and then he was successful at James Madison. You need to find a guy like that. I'd go find a really young, up and coming guy or a guy at a lower level who's just a winner. That's what Oklahoma State needs. They need something because back-to-back years being the doormat of the Big 12 is not a good look. All right,
All
NFL.
James Franklin.
Yeah, I don't think James Franklin's going to
Yeah,
start.
yeah. You know what I mean. You got to call him.
Yeah, make him say no.
Yeah, make him say no. If he sends your voicemail, call back.
Yeah. All right, NFL. We got I got three. I'm gonna go
I got
Patriots.
four.
Patriots are rolling. I mean, they are quietly one of the best teams in the NFL right now. They're hosting the Browns, getting under a touchdown. I love the Patriots here. They're just taking care of business every week. Patriots -6.5 against the Browns.
Yeah, Drake May. The only reason I know the Patriots are good is because I have Drake May on one of my fantasy teams as a
Yeah,
quarterback.
lighten it up.
Coming into the year, was not excited about that. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. My first one, Vikings Chargers. Give me Chargers -3. Uh, Chargers, I think they come off that loss to the Colts, but they put up a lot of points. I don't think the Vikings can match them points wise, so give me Chargers -3.
Hate to do it to the Cowboys, but Cowboys haven't won in Denver in like 20 years. We never play well against the Broncos in Denver. And I think that trend continues. The Cowboys are up and down roller coaster. We were up against the Commanders. We'll be back down, and we're not as good on the road. Defense is terrible. It's even worse on the road. So I'm going to take the Broncos -3.5 against the Cowboys.
Jets and Bengals. Give me the New York Jets money line. The
Ooh.
Fighting Aaron Glenn's. That's plus 250. I know what Joe Flacco just did. Yep. The Bengals defense is garbage. Now Fields has got a chip on his shoulder because the owner's talking crap about his play. I think the Jets somehow get their first win here. Money line plus 250. Give me the Jets money line.
Yeah, the Jets let you down last week. They forgot to show up against the Dolphins.
Dude, killed
But
me.
Fields and then Tyrod Taylor, they were thinking about starting Tyrod Taylor this week, backup quarter for the Jets, but then he got hurt. So it looks like it's gonna have to be Fields, and maybe he's got, like you said, chip on his shoulder.
And Flacco, he was a Jet. He's probably going to try to do a little too much, and then he's going to remember why the Bengals suck, uh, which is another reason I think the Jets somehow could win here.
Oh, and it's getting cold. Old guys don't do as well in the cold.
Right.
All right, my last one, Sunday Night Football. Steelers hosting the Packers. Steelers at home, getting 3.5. Packers coming in to the Steelers play their old quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Steelers coming off that loss. They had more extra time to think about it. They're still first in the division. I think the Steelers is a huge bounce back spot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Home team getting points, nothing better than that. Give me the Steelers plus 3.5 against the Packers.
Same bet, same reasoning. Aaron Rodgers can say all he wants. It's not a revenge game, da da da. he's going to treat them like he did the Chicago Bears for all them years.
Yeah.
And I really think the Steelers win this too. So give me Steelers plus 3.5 as well. And for my last bet, I love it when we go head to head on here. I don't think my record is
I think I've gotten
reflect.
you this year. Yeah.
Yeah, my record doesn't reflect that. I'm not even sure overall, but that doesn't stop me. Shoot or shoot. Cowboys and Broncos. Give me Cowboys plus 3.5. The Broncos were super hyped up. Everyone was in the house last week to retire Demaryius Thomas's number, hung it in the rafters there. Of course, it was poetic. They come back. He was 33 when he passed. They were 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Hmm.
Just so many things going on there.
Yes.
Big emotional day. Not anymore. This is a new week. Dallas Cowboys are going to come in. Bo Nix is going to look like Bo Nix has early in the season. Broncos defense is good. They're going to have to contend with Lamb and George Pickens. Dak's trying to get George Pickens paid by somebody. We already can't afford him, it looks like. So I don't see why that's going to be any different. Dak Prescott has another MVP caliber game, and the Cowboys plus 3.5. The Cowboys cover and probably win outright.
Hey, I'm rooting for you. I hope you win that one. I'll gladly lose that bet if the Cowboys can upset the Broncos. That means we're, in my opinion, we're a legitimate playoff team.
We're
All right,
due. We're
here's
due. We're due to win in
we need
Denver.
it. We need a road game, road win for sure. All right, here's the rundown. First for Jimmy's picks. College, he's got Friday night, North Texas, Charlotte over 59.5, Arkansas -1, Ole Miss +5, SMU -3, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech over 56, and BYU money line, which is +125. In the NFL, Jimmy's got Chargers -3, Jets money line at +250, Steelers +3.5, and Cowboys +3.5. Myself, Creta 3, college, I got South Florida -5, Arkansas -1, Alabama -12, Mississippi State +7.5, Michigan State +14.5. In the NFL, I got Patriots -6.5, Broncos -3.5, Steelers +3.5. There's our show, Gridiron Grind, episode 9. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Appreciate you joining us each and every week. We'll be back again next week. Jimmy, let's have a day watching football. Have a great weekend watching football.
You too, man. I'm excited. I like my picks. I like them every week, but we'll see. We'll see.
Shoot or shoot. You just got to keep on shooting.
Right.
NBA starting back this week. I mean, shoot or shoot. Steph Curry missed 100 in a row, but he's firing 101
Exactly.
right again.
Exactly.
So
And if you squint, if you're watching this and you're looking at me and you squint, might look a little like Steph Curry, maybe more Seth than Steph, but whatever. I'm
Seth
still
still
gonna
makes
shoot.
hell of a career for Seth. So,
Yeah,
all right, join
go
us next
Tigers.
week. Gridiron Grind, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next week.